Oh, it's on this side here.
We still gotta get that coffee from months ago, so we still gotta get that coffee.
Just in case you forget your head, just use them.
They're like, yeah, put a name on it. That's a question mark.
That's a tight. Yeah.
So what do you guys do right now if like one of your VJs drops out and you gotta get a new one?
A new VJ?
Let's say if you gotta get a new one, like are you doing the hiring process or like they bring someone from Toronto to hire the person?
Yeah. 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 No, it's okay. You can laugh at it. That's fine. The last hire we had was influencer. Oh no. She's got it like this. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's all I said. It's like, I got nothing. This is what I gotta work with. I gotta choose. And then I get emails from the especially Nick's school of journalism.
I was about to say, for all the stories you've written over the last 30 years.
Hitting the bottom of the barrel.
So are you into nat packs? Because that's Nick's expertise. Are you into natural sounds? Nat packs? It's like, I don't know what was good. We love sound bites. Sound ups this guy.
Okay, so we're going to get started. For those of you that have joined online, if you just want to press *1 to ask a question, we'll add you to the queue. We will start with a statement from Staff Sergeant Sean Gregson, then we'll go to questions in the room and then online. I already said that. Yeah. Yeah, good.
Good to go. My name is Staff Sergeant Sean Gregson, SEANGREGSON, with the Calgary Police Service Homicide Unit. Following an extensive investigation by our Historical Homicide Team, the family of a woman reported missing over 50 years ago has been given some answers. Investigators in our Historical Homicide Team reviewed past case files and publicly available archives to piece together additional context or previously overlooked details. As part of this process in 2024, we identified the case of a missing woman, Anna Sylvia Just, that warranted a renewed investigation. Anna was reported missing in August of 1966 after she was last seen boarding a bus from Calgary. In March of 1968, some of Anna's remains and belongings were located in the Nevada desert, and foul play was suspected. But Anna was never located, and the investigation went cold. After approaching the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, we learned that Anna was believed to have been the victim of a homicide. We also discovered there was no missing person profile for Anna on local or national and international databases. We then began searching for close relatives of Anna who could provide a familial DNA sample to create a profile. In November of 2024, we located Anna's 97-year-old sister. Her DNA was then collected, submitted to our databases, including the National Missing and Identified Person System. In October of this year, we were notified by Las Vegas police that a DNA match had been made to a historic Nevada homicide in which an unidentified victim was located in 1970. Until now, that victim has never been identified. Earlier this month, detectives met with Anna's sister and provided her with a long-awaited update about her discovery and the circumstances surrounding her death. We recognize how difficult it must have been for Anna's family to wait decades for these answers. This case is an example of our unwavering commitment in seeking answers for victims and their families, no matter how much time has passed. Even decades later, our investigators are dedicated to ensuring victims are remembered and no stone is left unturned.
What was the reasoning why this case kind of maybe perked the ears and eyes of Calgary police this many years later and getting that DNA match from her sister? What was it about this case that, hey, why don't we take a second look at this?
We were actually investigating some of the other files with missing girls that we've worked on over the past years, and came across a newspaper article that had the same girl's identity and articles about them, and Anna was mentioned in the same articles as a missing person from that time. And our investigators are very familiar with all of our historical files, and noticed that this one wasn't on our list. So dug in a little deeper and then found out that some of this information was missing.
You mentioned she wasn't on any missing person databases locally, internationally.
Yeah.
Do you know why that might have been the case? I know times were different, technology wasn't the same, but is there a reason why she wasn't put on that list back
I think
then?
you nailed it right there with just different times back then. Hard copy documents and retention policies were very different back then. So some of that information over this long time has been lost.
I know you can't really speak to other police departments and how they work, but this case, quite peculiar. In 1968, her belongings were found in the desert: passport, plane ticket, suitcase. Her body was found less than a mile away 2 years later.
Yeah.
Why was the connection maybe not there, whether Calgary police working with Las Vegas police back then? Why was there maybe not two and two put together?
Well, the interesting thing is that it actually was, and there was some collaboration between Calgary police and Las Vegas, and we know that we'd sent information to them back there, and they still had that information, and they did investigate it. They did a good job from what we've understood now about even trying to track Anna's whereabouts as she came from Calgary. So there was a good investigation when those initial items were found. Unfortunately, again, technology plays a part, with DNA not being a factor in there. In 1970, the connection just wasn't made. That was 2 years later after the belongings were found. But they did do some investigation, and there was some collaboration.
Anything? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not to take over the press conference here,
This
but
is
just
the word
I know with you guys had made it clear at the end of the press release that genealogy testing was not used in this case. I know Las Vegas Metro put that out last week. Why was that important to clear up in this case? I know that's been a big tool for a lot of police departments, especially yours, to use that, but especially in cold cases.
Just
like
to ensure it was accurate and understanding of what it was DNA in this case, not genealogy. So it was once we had that DNA uploaded from her sister, we could make that first connection match.
Can you talk about how that DNA match happened? Did Las Vegas Metro have to exhume the body to get the DNA match from that unidentified remains to match it with her sister here?
I believe it was still on the system down there, so what they were missing was the connection to who that might be linked to.
Just a couple of questions, just more homework questions. Are we able to know, like, if we just back up before Anna left, like, we know she did leave to go to Vegas, but what part of the city she might have been from, or where did she get the bus? Like, what, in 1969 or 1970, where was the bus station at the time? Is it where the Greyhound is now, or?
I'd have to double check on that one. I don't know. I do know she jumped on a bus from Calgary, but I didn't pay attention to the exact details of where that occurred.
I know previous reporting, 1966 in August, she was reported missing from her home in like the Richmond area. Was that kind of last, I guess, information that you guys had known about her possibly getting on that bus in that area, then potentially taking a plane down to Vegas?
It was her sister that reported her missing after not hearing from her, and then it was the investigators that dug in a bit that located the location where she left Calgary.
And I know this is another police department, Las Vegas Metro. There was reports from police down there that she had potential ties to the mob. I know there's been no one charged in this case, associates and things like that. There's been alleged accusations against mob bosses down in the U.S., but do you guys have to work with Las Vegas Metro to find out who her killer was, or is that strictly their file at this point?
We'll be in communication with Las Vegas, and since we initiated this and reached out to them, it's been a great collaboration with our investigators and their team, and kind of updating us and working together to come to this conclusion.
Anything else in the room?
I think just last one. I mean, again, 30, 50 years now we're talking. Like, what does that just mean for the organization and the family, just to know? Like, you did stay in the statement that, you know, we're still going to investigate these even 50 years later. Yeah. That's pretty amazing to be able to kind of now at least shed light, or at least put together a puzzle that's almost 50 years old.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes to the dedication our investigators have. And when they dig into here, these files, any which file it is, we're trying to speak for the victims that can't speak anymore and provide those answers to the family. And it's a pretty amazing story when members from the team go to speak to her sister, and one of the first things she says to them is like, "Are you here because of Sylvia?" So that's 50 years that she's been waiting to hear from her, and right inside the front door is a picture of her sister. So that kind of thing, you know, that's what drives our investigators. There's some appreciation for that. To be able, although not a happy ending to it, it is some answers that we can provide the family. So I think it's equally rewarding on both sides.
Was it hard to find relatives of Sylvia? Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but luckily enough, sometimes good luck and maybe something else is on our side, where her sister's still in Calgary here and not too far away.
Okay, operator, you can put through the first question online.
From Skylar Goodman at KSL TV.
Hi there.
Hi, yeah, just a couple questions for you. I'm wondering, was Calgary aware of Tom Hanley's mob associations when they reached out to Las Vegas? And if not, when was Calgary made aware of who the Hanleys were?
Once we reached out to Las Vegas police, and then we kind of got some of the background investigation regarding the original file and the original belongings that were found, that's kind of when it became news to us about any of the connections down to Las Vegas. Like you said, this original file was from 1968 and was investigated back then, but our investigators right now are just learning a lot of this information.
Did you have a follow-up?
Okay, and is law enforcement aware of the nature of Anna and Hanley's relationship? Do we know how the two were connected?
No, I'm not going to speak to any of that right now. That'll be a Las Vegas questions to answer.
Perfect. Any other questions online? Yeah, operator.
From Rick Donquist at CBC Radio. Please go ahead.
Staff Gregson, thanks for the opportunity. I just Was the CPS aware in 1970 when her remains and, some of her personal belongings bloodied and her passport, was that part of or added to her original missing persons report from 66?
In 1968, when the belongings were located, yes, that was. But 1970, when she was located and unknown at that time, I don't believe the connection was made back then.
But there was, if I could follow up, but there was something in the CPS files that her passport had been discovered in Las Vegas, and she was.
I believe that's the time
missing
that
person that was identified.
Yeah, that's would have been the time that our missing person investigation. Some of that information was shared down with Las Vegas, so it was a connection made in 1968 when those belongings were located.
Operator, you can put through the
Question
next.
from Devon DeKuyper at Postmedia. Go ahead, please.
Hi there. Just wondering, you said that you had met with her sister to give her the update earlier this month. Could you share at all what her sister's response was? I know you touched on that kind of a little bit already, but what was the reaction?
Maybe relief. It's been a long time, and the fact when we first reached out to collect her DNA, maybe some renewed hope from her. So she's 97 years old right now. I can't imagine the kind of shock that would come after this long.
What did she share at all? Like, did she have any additional information about the disappearance that you didn't have yet, or about her possible connection to Hanley?
I think most of the information was shared in the original investigation of what we knew. So this is all news to her and quite overwhelming, really.
Next question from Darren Rathwell at 660 News. Please go ahead.
Hi there. Are there more cold cases that you think you're on the verge of breaking that you can disclose at this point?
Nothing more to disclose right now as the investigations are ongoing. And in any of these cases, our first priority is updating family before we speak publicly on any of them.
Okay. You spoke to, how important it is to, keep working on these cases. Can you just fledge that, divulge more into the details of what that means to people?
Well, I know in these cases, people are looking for answers that they may never find, and that can hold a lot of weight on them. And our investigators as well that maybe originally investigated these. I know from my colleagues and over the years, certain files stick with investigators as long as they stick with the families. And without those answers, it's tragic.
Any other questions online?
No further questions.
Any other questions in the room? Nope. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.